Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
What makes a horror film kill memorable, terrific, even in some way profound or poignant? Let's explore. Thanks for checking this out. If anything about it trips your fancy, please like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, yes.
Without further ado.
Is that a muscular bot or what?
With a pinpoint jab like that, it would take a lot more than a swing and see what happens brawler to give Julius a challenge. Especially one that allows himself to get distracted in the worst possible instant. Seizing opportunity, a trait of the greats. This is a case of the odds-on favorite delivering in stunning fashion. Demonstrating how a frequent solid jab controls and wins matches. Adulation raining down, his impressive exploits rightly bask him in the limelight.
He's undefeated. You know that?
You don't say. It stands to reason. The young man has the physique, the temperament, and the chops, not to mention the looks.
Julius is the only senior I'd even consider doing it with.
Excuse me, sir, can you leave some of the women for the rest of us? Julius has that natural inborn magnetism. He can't be blamed for the ladies getting inescapably caught in his orbit.
He is so good-looking.
If we're throwing around the term ebony Adonis here, it's fitting. The man could be carved out of stone. Julius was probably in for a great night if not for a certain stowaway. After years of being the Crystal Lake hermit and a long sojourn dead, first in a grave, then under the languid waters of the lake, plus a run-in with his most powerful nemesis, Tina. Jason Voorhees needs a vacation, and a trip to the big city suits him fine. So earlier,
He came down the river and he's gotten on board.
and once stowed away on the ship, ended up getting in some mischief. Jason just has a lot of social issues.
This is an emergency. I want you all to come to the bridge.
What the fuck is this?
Disarray ensues, as Jason wanted to voice some displeasure with the buffet, and when he took his complaints to the captain and his first mate, things got a little out of hand.
Mayday! Mayday!
Possibly seeing his first dead body, Julius sums up what they're in up to their necks with one word.
Shit.
The tease of summoning help.
This is the Coast Guard cutter Dallas. What's the nature of your problem, Lazarus?
Invites only one thing, as Jason feels they can hash this one out on their own. The chaperones arrive to put the kibosh on any rash behavior.
Know what is going on? Christ.
Julius has other more proactive ideas, and rallies the troops.
I say we regroup and let's go find this motherfucker before he finds us, huh?
Itchy feet demand he keep on the move.
Are you with me? Watch your mouth, young man.
McCulloch proves biology teachers might have a solid grasp of anatomy, but they can suck at the nuances of the human mind, because in his years teaching these teens, he clearly failed to earn their respect.
And you'll do no such thing. I'm in charge here.
And finds his authority card invalid, the corner cut.
School is out. Come on. Okay?
With that proclamation,
Let's go.
they file out to a fate unknown. Okay, their fate is pretty predictable. McCulloch is fit to be tied.
You come back here.
No kibitzing, the boys are full of testosterone, adrenaline, and youthful bravado, and they don't think twice, quickly getting down to business.
Man, she scrounges this shit up in the game room.
Divvying up weapons.
Alright. Grab what you want.
Since the ship isn't equipped with a flamethrower or a bazooka, the limited options are less than bolstering.
What are you taking, Julius? Nothing.
Besides being a handsome athlete, is Julius also a theater kid? Because he sure knows how to create dramatic emphasis.
But this gun.
Soon after splitting up, one of these guys has a close encounter with Jason. And our future boxing phenom almost gets the early axe. While Julius contemplates his next move, Miles determines his, and it involves inexplicable climbing. The blanketing downpour obscuring a lot of Jason's antics, Julius is understandably paranoid. A harsh reality shoved right in his face. He learns his friend has become a casualty of their misguided attempt at heroism. This coincides with Jason offering up Julius to whatever gods or demons rule the seven seas. Well, he got the early axe after all. With the storm and seas raging, it has to be assumed the deep got him, as he is obviously swallowed up by the dark swirling waters, never, I repeat never, to return. What makes some exits extraordinary comes down to character, the kind of guy you'd assume would last a little longer, have a little more longevity, would maybe get a little more glorious and intriguing. Something no one could have foreseen, Julius pops out to join the other survivors in a lifeboat. Take him to the deep end and you still can't drown him. Yes, that is a boxing reference. Watching disapprovingly as they paddle away, Jason is clearly pissed that this rowdy group of kids wrecked his vacation. First, they had to frustrate him by consistently being in the way of onboard activities, such as the sauna, skeet shooting, and the dance floor. And now the ship is sinking because they couldn't help but make him blow his stack. His anger management issues are never ending. As for Julius, his muscles will come in handy. Because they are in for a lot of rowing before they get anywhere.
Hey, man. Yo, wake up.
Miracle of miracles.
Oh, shit. Check it out. Damn, we're in New York.
They actually reach their intended destination.
You did it, man. You did it. We are in New York. New York City.
Well, sort of anyway.
There must be a phone around here somewhere.
Not exactly the best place to disembark, something Sour Grapes McCulloch has to comment on.
Wonderful choice of places to dock a boat, Mr. Robertson.
Don't mind him, he's still reeling from the realization none of his students would give him the sweat off their derrieres if he were dying of thirst in the desert. Since this film is set 10 years after it was made, it reflects late 80s crime rates, so the group is immediately set upon by gun-toting stereotypes.
Give me your money. Everyone shut up and give him the money.
In a fair fight, Julius would smoke both of these cowardly punks at the same time.
Go ahead, Superman. Be a hero. Hey, come on now.
A gun in his face, he has no choice other than to stand down.
Follow us. Your fucking head up. Comprende?
Then the thugs run off with final girl Rennie. Don't worry, Jason catches up to them before any defilement can occur. The whole situation stuck in his craw. Julius would like to beat him to it.
So what, we just gonna stand here? Let's go.
Of course, McCulloch prevents him from going on a recovery mission.
Julius! Calm down, will you? You heard what he said. He'll kill her.
have to find the police.
Next, the Grump makes the sort of unilateral decision that only serves to reveal his lack of situational awareness.
I think we'll be more productive if we split up, okay?
Still chafed at his lack of true authority, he will truck no dissent.
Hi, but Charlie, suppose we...
No discussions now, please.
Fed up, Julius goes off to contemplate how a class trip turned into such a boondoggle. Now on his own, Julius comes upon a bygone object he can possibly use to summon help. This is a phone booth. In the days before mobile phones, they were prevalent all over. In bad neighborhoods they weren't likely to work though, as vandalism often left them broken, but he manages to get through to somebody.
Operator, this is an emergency. Give me the police.
That's where his luck ends. Julius wastes no time fleeing, and perhaps feeling the high ground will give him an advantage. We are in for more inexplicable climbing. Ascending to the rooftop, this will only serve to corral him, since his pursuer remains close. Essentially marking a dead end, the bird's eye view he gets. Maybe it wasn't worth restricting his movement to the roof of one building. With no help in sight and a fighter at heart, Julius doesn't run, recognizing the truth. Sometimes all you can do is throw down and hope for the best.
These are combos keep the thing light. This is it.
Suddenly thrust into a boss fight, with his talent, strength, and nerves, he's confident he can take this guy. A measured fusillade of ferocious blows, its bombs away. The rising star's start is strong and promising. Pounding away as if working a punching bag, Jason offers so little resistance it's as though he's too confused by this straightforward approach to know how to respond. Each shot is precise and brutal. Many would stop a lesser man, monster, or supernatural entity. No need to bob and weave or dip and dodge. He pounds away at Jason the way Rocky worked over those sides of beef. The one-sided pummeling feels like it could go his way. He's displacing the bulky brute with each solid blow. A decaying reanimated corpse. How Jason even has enough substance to not be pieced apart by this workmanlike display of punching prowess is beyond reason. The way Julius drives him across the rooftop makes it seem like there's an end in sight, a goal. But there are limits to even a stalwart young man's stamina. Don't forget, Julius did a ton of rowing, so lactic acid issues could be a factor. Not to mention he hasn't eaten for hours and is likely dehydrated on top of being hungry. Even as he falters and begins to flail, to flounder, to fumble. He continues to give everything. Throwing until fatigue overtakes him, sapping the last of him. Until he has nothing left. He gives his all and doesn't hold back anything. Julius has exhausted his gas tank, left everything in the ring, so to speak. Out of options, taken to the outer limits of endurance, and too drained to be anything other than indifferent to defeat. He won't be intimidated or turn tail and run, but holds his ground and goes out on his shield.
Take your best shot. Motherfucker.
Turns out Jason was employing the old rope-a-dope the whole time. In his remaining moment of life before the blood drains out of his neck stump, Julius experiences quite the exhilarating ride, spinning through the air as a decapitated head.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Before the last of him and all his potential goes right into the trash bin. Soon thereafter, the others have reconnected and locate a surprisingly open-minded police officer.
I find it a tall tale indeed. You seem like honest folks, so I'm inclined to believe at least some of what you say.
Safe in law enforcement's sheltering bosom.
Yeah, well, first order of business is to find Julius.
Nothing can hurt them now.
I'm sure you'll pop up soon enough. I'll call for backup.
And Julius's handsome mug shows up for one last scare. Call Jason distasteful, a real bad guy with a mean streak as wide as his broad shoulders, but he sure does have a sense of flair. You have to respect a guy who doesn't let a good head go to waste.
Oh, Lord.
In all honesty, extraordinariness can arise purely from spectacle, an unexpected image, a fun kick-ass example of carnage candy. And here, the capper of the head's eye view was an inspired touch that perhaps inflated Julius's exit to the showpiece kill of the film.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
The whole sequence, pitting next-level standout Julius against zombie Jason, was designed to amplify anticipation by getting the blood surging and hopes rising. To better or worse effect, it locked in the kind of direct engagement with the audience that leads to talking back to the screen, because the build-up was all in service to the kind of exclamatory payoff that incites jeers, cheers, and other energetic discourse. With all that said, Julius's hard-fought exit fits the bill of spectacle, but it actually represents so much more than just another Jason kill in a bountiful list of Jason kills. It makes a statement about how even someone who had the world as his oyster could have his strengths turned against him and rubbed in his face from one random encounter with the wrong foe.
You're all gonna die.
And why? On the surface, Julius was a real dynamo, blessed with looks, athleticism, smarts, wit, and the personality to put it all together. A skilled boxer, his talent was obvious. He had everything you want to see in a prospect, down to dynamite in his fists. Gregarious, affable, sure to thrive on life's highway and tough as nails, it's no wonder the more optics-minded ladies were swooning over him. More importantly, beyond the exterior charm, he was a decent person with a sturdy spine, a lot of compassion, and a penchant for acting on the behalf of others. Oftentimes that doesn't work out favorably, a sad truth of life covered extensively in these videos. It won him nothing.
You're the one who's insane.
The way Julius was depicted as the top dog, only to fall to superior opposition, could be interpreted as a message about not engaging just anybody. It brings to mind the truism, no matter how big and bad you think you are, there is always someone bigger and badder. Since Jason was a supernatural entity brought back from the dead.
Walking corpses are not real.
Jason.
Please! Please! I'm begging you! Please!
Jason was no typical adversary, so it was absolutely not in Julius's best interest to exhaust his gas tank to the extent he could lose his head. And invite his own demise. You don't give a marksman a free shot in a gun duel, and you damn sure don't give Jason one under any context. This is zombie undead Jason, no longer fettered with any of the hang-ups of the flesh, like having any physical vulnerability at all. mind over matter doesn't work when the matter in question is held together by black magic, likely brought about from an incantation straight out of the Necronomicon. Julius maybe should have given his head a shake like a magic 8-ball and taken the advisement of whatever else floated up, because this was not the time to fight in any way other than for his life, which doesn't entail purposely getting in Jason's proximity. In boxing, retreating is tantamount to quitting, and leads to being labeled heartless. In military terms, there's an argument that retreat is so cowardly it should be met with a firing squad. Despite all that, pride be damned, there should be no shame in retreating from guaranteed defeat.
I apologize for nothing.
Oliver Goldsmith's wisdom resonates to this day, that he who fights and runs away may live to fight another day, but he who battles slain can never rise to fight again. It's one thing to go down shooting. In battle and boxing there's courage in going out on your shield, but here there was no need. Julius's only responsibility was to himself.
Yep, that stands up to scrutiny.
Maybe he decided he could accept nothing less of himself than to try to stop Jason's murder spree as a matter of attempting to do the right thing. In that case, there's a fine line between valor and stupidity.
Whatever you say. That's good again.
But there might be a deeper, more psychological reason connected to his rash decision-making. Let's go back to this moment.
School is out, Bella. Okay?
Headstrong and cocksure, was standing up to McCulloch and leading a posse the right thing to do, considering his friends wound up dead and him flung into the ocean? There might be some audience wish fulfillment involved, particularly among those hounded by a tyrant teacher they were never able to meaningfully confront. But in truth, defying McCulloch was most assuredly not the best course of action, no matter how good it felt to strip him of his presumed authority.
Yeah, well, these dead bodies are sure not real, alright?
Those who shunned the manhunt survived to abandon ship, so sticking together and getting to the lifeboats was the better plan. Julius couldn't have known that, but he was maybe brimming with overconfidence.
I say we regroup and let's go find this motherfucker before he finds us, huh? Are you with me?
A natural leader. Is it any wonder the other guys fell in line? For his hubris, all he did was lead a suicide mission, getting the others killed, which was obviously in no way his intent, but the results just the same. So it could be possible taking on Jason in a way almost impossible to survive was his survivor's guilt emerging. One of those kill-or-be-killed situations. He could restore his honor by emerging as the hero, or die trying, forcing himself to face the fate of the peers he marshaled to their deaths, who were all similarly engaged when Jason chucked them off the mortal coil, young men trying to live up to some fantasy standard of heroics. Without a doubt, Julius was head and shoulders above. That was, until Jason separated his head from his shoulders.
Just be careful, Chongi doesn't separate your head from your body.
And made him just another body for the mountain of bodies Jason has left in his long, turbulent wake.
Yeah!
Well, I've about reached the end of the rope, so I won't leave you dangling. Thanks for humoring my ramblings. Please share any refutations, opinions, accusations, japes, or other ideas in the comments below. And please join me for whatever I'm up to next time. Bye now.
Bye, creepy man! Keep it creepy!
He's a weird guy.
Goodbye!